Hello my friends, and welcome to my kitchen. It is Sunday, January 8th, and I am just going to make a video today with our Morning Glory muffins. So these are a new product that's just come out in this catalog. So our winter 2023 catalog, we have these new Morning Glory muffins. And if you've had Morning Glory muffins, you probably had them either at Starbucks or you've had them at one of the big chain stores where they are full of fat, a lot of calories. They do possess a great morning treat. Usually they have nuts with them and they have fresh fruit and delicious. So we are going to epicurize it. So I've just cracked 2 eggs into my bowl. And with those 2 eggs, I need a cup of unsweetened applesauce. And you'll notice I am using one of our Epicure non-slip bowls. These were a host special from last year, not available now, but I love them. So I'm also using one of our 1 cup prep bowls to measure out my 1 cup of applesauce. And we'll get the lid back on that. And we'll dump that applesauce into our bowl. We also need a half a cup of oil. So you could use sunflower oil, you could use whatever oil you bake with, all right? Canola oil or corn oil, whichever one you use. So we're just gonna beat up those 2 eggs with that applesauce. Then I'm gonna grab out our oil from under my cabinet here, and we're going to use a half a cup of oil. Again, our 1 cup prep bowls have the measurements right on them of a quarter, half a cup, and 3/4. So I really don't need to pull out all my measuring cups and my measuring spoons. I can just use our prep bowls for my wonderful measurements. And there we go. So half a cup of oil went in. I'm going to give that another mix. All right, last but not least, we need our Morning Glory mix. So we're just going to open this up. Now there's 2 ways to make these. So you can bake them off in a 375-degree oven. The mix will fill 2 of our muffin makers. So our 6 cup muffin makers, it will fill 2 of them. You can bake them off in a 375-degree oven for 15 to 18 minutes, or until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. Now, you can also do them in a hurry. If you're in a hurry, you can do them in the microwave. And in the microwave, they take roughly on high 2.5 minutes, and then bring them out and let them sit for 5. Invert onto a wire rack and let them cool. All right, and that's all there is to it. So in this we have rice flour, organic cane sugar, organic coconut palm sugar, cornstarch, modified tapioca starch, carrots, apples, coconut, cinnamon, cranberries, baking powder, sea salt, and baking soda is what is in your package. All right, so there's our mix. Now, with this mix, you can add to it a half a cup of millet, a half a cup of pumpkin seeds, 1 cup of fresh or frozen berries. So we're gonna add 1 cup of blueberries, fresh. And I'm gonna also throw in there, just because I'm a rebel, I'm going to grate up a half an apple here. Just to add some extra to it. So I'm just taking an apple that I washed, didn't have to slice it or dice it or anything else. I'm just going to take that apple and I'm going to use my box grater on a piece of parchment or a piece of wax paper, and I'm just going to grate that apple. So I'm not using a whole lot. Like I said, I'm just using about a half an apple, and it's just to give it a little bit of extra apple blueberry flavor maybe. Maybe we're going to use the full apple because okay, that was a nice mess. I'll use the rest of that apple today for dessert tonight. And we're just going to scrape out the inside of that box grater. One of the things I hate about this is cleaning it because it's always messy, but that's okay. So we have about a half a cup of apple there. We're just going to scrape that into our bowl. There we go. All right. So in goes our apple. Get rid of that. Going to quickly wipe out that mess. All right. Now we have our mix. We have blueberries and apple pieces in there, and we have our mix with cranberries and carrots. And apple pieces, coconut pieces, cinnamon and cranberries. So now we are going to get our muffin pan out here. I'm going to fill our muffin cups. So if you've heard me before, our recipes are all gluten-free. So a tip with our gluten-free baking is to let your muffins or your cookies or your loaves sit for about 10 minutes, just long enough to let the gluten-free flour absorb the moisture. It's always a tip with gluten-free baking, not just Epicures, but if you're doing any kind of gluten-free baking, it's usually a tip that they have just to let it sit for, like I said, roughly about 10 minutes, just to absorb that liquid. Now, our muffins sat there for a couple of minutes to, while we were shredding our apple. So we're just gonna let that one sit there for another couple minutes while we fill this one. And then we should be able to get one or two of these into our oven. Now, like I said, they're gonna bake in a 375 degree oven for 15 to 18 minutes. I could pop one of these into my microwave and do the 2.5 minutes. I'm not going to today because I have lots of time. So I'm going to bake them off. Another day we will do them in the microwave when we have less time. All right, so I believe, I will have to double check for you, but I do believe that I've seen somewhere the comparison between ours and theirs. What's the difference with the Epicure Morning Glory muffins versus a store-bought Morning Glory muffin. So I will look for that and get that posted for you. I'm sure there's a good difference, especially when it comes to the amount of sugar and sodium in these, as well as the amount of fat. So like I said, I will double check for that for you and get back to you with it. All right. So there we have 12 Morning Glory muffins, roughly, I don't know how long it took us, maybe 6 to 8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. But there we have 12 Morning Glory muffins ready to go into the oven. They will go in, like I said, for 15 to 18 minutes, and then I will take pictures of them and post the final product for you. Thank you for joining me today, and thanks for hanging out with our Morning Glory muffins. Come back and see me again. I will be back probably tomorrow at 6. I just received today my Epic box, so we're going to go through that, and we're going to go through some of our freezer shop meals from our Epic box for the month of January. All right, guys, have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.